Happy Friday. I wanted to pop on here and it's been a crazy week for me. I don't know if it's been a crazy week for you, but I have felt I needed to rest a lot this week, sleep, take naps, whatever that may mean. And it's been an interesting, energetic week. And I want to pop on here and talk about self-love and the journey to self-love, because for most people, the journey to self-love is a long, hard road. It's not something that we are taught from a young age. We're actually taught to hate ourselves. We're taught to have extreme disgust with our body, with what we look like, what we do with ourselves, how we do things, and we're taught that we don't have enough gifts, we're not perfect, we have to keep proving ourselves, and sometimes we're just never good enough, and we're never good enough for ourselves as well. And a lot of this is taught in childhood because children mimic their parents. Children watch the people that raised them, and they see how that person treats themselves. They see how that person treats others. And most of us are taught to people please. We're taught to tiptoe around people, especially very toxic people or people that have a lot of trauma. We're taught to not rock the boat. We're taught to, be quiet, don't speak our opinion, don't say what we like to do, be very gentle towards other people's feelings, don't do this, don't do that. There's a whole list of things that we're not supposed to do from a young age because it could upset somebody. It could hurt their feelings. And so this people-pleasing actually ends up strangling our souls. We end up not loving ourselves. We end up, second-guessing who we are, what we're here for. And children are very intelligent. They're very intuitive. They know why they came here most of the time. They have some dream that they want to live, but that's been taken out of them, and it's society, it's parents, it's everybody, everybody's programmed into this hating of yourself. And I was the same way. I came from a very strict Christian upbringing, with an extreme fear of God. God can strike you down dead at any time. He is a very, very fearful, don't do anything bad. Don't do anything wrong. Don't talk too loud. Don't do this, don't do that. And so we're given this idea of the masculine, of God who's supposed to provide and protect us, along with our dads and maybe older brothers or whoever you were raised by. They don't really provide and protect us. We have to fear them. And so we fear speaking, up for what we need. We fear about speaking our desires. We fear from a young age of saying, hey, I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat that. I don't want to be like that. Maybe I want to go hiking, or maybe I want to go climb mountains, or maybe I want to go swimming, maybe I want to do this. All of these things we're taught from a young age not to do, not to say that we want to do. So that carries over into adulthood, and that carries over into us hating ourselves. We also see it in magazines. You have to look like this, you have to act like this. You can't, as a woman in the corporate setting, a lot of the time it's don't have better ideas than the men, don't speak that, or a man steals your idea. And for men, it's the same. They hate their bodies. They don't know, they're taught they have to have muscles, or whatever the new trends are, a beard, a man bun, whatever it is. It's the same for both sexes, and we don't feel safe. We don't feel that we can actually speak our journeys, what we need, our desires. And so we end up just hating ourselves even more, and our body gets super constricted, and we don't sleep. We actually hate waking up. We don't know what we're doing here. We're confused. And so this journey to self-love is hard. It's dismantling these systems that we're taught from such a young age, which is a very hard thing to do. And most people don't do it. Most people just settle for this 9 to 5, not a great life, stuck in traffic for an hour, getting maybe 2 weeks off a year. Sometimes, over in Europe, it's a month. And it's this life where you do what's expected of you, but you're not quite sure what loving yourself really is about. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with this as well. A lot of artists struggle with this because it's hard. It's not easy to love yourself and to put yourself first and to say, no, these are my boundaries. For clients or for people who've commissioned work from you, I don't want to give you 15 edits for free, or I don't want to do this because it's not in our contract. And I don't owe you more of my time because you've paid me to do this specific job. And setting these boundaries is a very hard thing for most people to do. And these boundaries can be as easy as saying no to your parents. It can be saying no to your siblings. People ask to borrow money. Your friends want to go do this, and it doesn't strike right in your soul because your soul wants to do something else. Your soul wants to heal itself. Your soul wants to go walk in nature. Your soul wants to be at peace. And it doesn't necessarily want to listen to somebody talk about how they hate their job, they hate their life, they hate their boyfriend, but they're not willing to do anything about it. That was my journey. I've had to leave a lot of people I considered friends behind in my journey of self-love because I was tired of hearing the same things over and over and over again for years and years and years about how much they hated everything, but yet they were unwilling to take a different step to help themselves, to take a journey into loving themselves, to maybe going to a therapist or going to a coach or going to reprogram their subconscious, whatever it was. People don't actually want to help themselves. They want somebody to do it for them. But the journey of self-love is from within. It has to come from within. It has to start inside of you. And if you're unwilling to heal yourself, or you're unwilling to help yourself or see a different path, you're not going to be willing to love yourself. You're not going to be willing to put yourself first. And I'm not just saying put yourself first to put yourself first, because of course, if you have responsibilities like children, they are here, you took that responsibility on and they chose to come to you, but they're watching you. They're noticing how you treat yourself. Do you say no when you don't want to do something or you don't want to eat something? Do you love yourself? Do you say, I can't handle that right now. I actually need time to myself? Do you put boundaries up? Are you saying, okay, you know what? I want to go take a bath right now because I need to regroup, or I want to go walk in nature, things like that. And children see this and they start to understand that, oh, it's important that I take care of myself. It's important that I love myself because it comes from within. But our bodies also are these are our love centers. This is our reception to God, right? We're receptors. And God wants to give us love. God wants to say, hey, I have all this love for you, the universe, source, whatever you believe in. I have all this love for you. I want to show you all of it. But if your body is clouded with alcohol and drugs or self-hate, doubt, denial, no boundaries, toxic situations, toxic relationships, jobs, whatever it is, and depression and anxiety start up because of all these toxic situations or unhealed trauma, and now you're not a receptor for love. You're a receptor for negativity, for fear, for panic, for hate, for scarcity mindset, for poverty. That's what you're a receptor of. So instead of that, we want to flip it, right? We want to flip it and say, we're going to love ourselves. We're going to truly dig into this healing relationship with ourselves, thus having a better relationship with God. Once you can truly love yourself, right? And once you can truly start to depend on that masculine, depend on God and say, I trust you. I believe in you. Show me what I need to do. Help me clear out my vessel, my temple, my body. That is what we're here for. We're here to empty ourselves out so that we can get as much love. And this goes into abundance, this goes into happiness, this goes into all of that. And as much love as you can receive and as much love as you give out, right? Once you start saying, I love myself, once you start saying, this is what I'm here for, I love myself, that starts to show up outside of you as well. That starts to show up in the people that you attract and the people that are in your groups and the people that are online and are surrounding you. And they start to say, hey, I love myself too, and I'm doing this for myself and I'm helping myself. And then you see it in the collective, and it starts to build and it starts to have momentum. But we can't do that until we start within, until we start that self-love journey. And it's a process. It's taken me a few years to really dig deep and to really start healing myself and loving myself and clearing the trauma, clearing out everything that was holding me back. And I can truly say that I love myself, that I have a loving relationship with God, Yahweh, Allah, universe, source, whatever you want to call it. This is my loving relationship with God, and that shows up within me. It shows up outside of me. And that's what we're here for. We're here to have this journey of love. It's not easy. Most people live in fear. They live in panic. They live in scarcity. They live in poverty mindset. They live in these matrices that are meant to hold us down. And it's hard to break out of that. It's hard to break away from your friend group. It's hard to break away from your family group. It's hard to break away from these people that are so used to the toxicity and don't want to get away from it. And so you have fewer and fewer friends. I have fewer and fewer friends, but I have a great community online. I have a great community that's small, but they love themselves and they are healing themselves and they are doing what they think is best for the highest good of all. And this is where we are at today. We are at an important period of time. We are watching chaos right now in the world. And we have to ground down deep in this love for ourselves, ground down deep in this love we have for God and our relationship with Him, and ground down deep in the fact that we are going to keep our vibration very high in this love, happiness, gratitude vibration. And we're going to keep it so high that the collective has to join us. We're not joining them in the pain and the confusion and the fear and the panic that is bred right now. We're going to self-love until everybody around us is self-loving, right? But that's your choice, that's your choice if you want to have a journey to self-love. It's your choice if you want to truly, truly love yourself and look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, I love you. Thank you, body. Thank you, body, for nourishing, your breasts for women, their nourishment, or if you've had kids, if you've breastfed, if you haven't, that's fine. But your body, you're beautiful. You're here for a reason. You came with specific gifts that nobody else can do. And that's what you're here for. That's what this journey is about. And I hope that you take the time to really, really give yourself some love today. Give yourself some love going into this weekend. This 8/8 Lionsgate portal it's dynamic. It's a difference. We are heading into a new earth. We're heading into a new time. We're heading into love. And that's what it's about. And I hope that you take this time to love yourself, really give yourself the rest you need, the hugs you need, the boundary setting that you need, anything that you feel called to do for your body, for your mind, for your spirit, anything that means that you are loving yourself right now. That is what I hope that you do. And I hope you take the time to do that this weekend. And, maybe write down a few things that you want to release. If you want to release some old beliefs, if you want to release some old habits, some things that you're not happy with. And maybe it has to do with releasing this self-doubt or not loving yourself and not knowing what your gifts are and not actually trusting or loving God to reveal it all to you. Maybe those are some things that you want to release. Or you want to release people who are no longer on your energy vibration. You want to release things that are no longer serving you. And this is a great time to do it. We're on the peak of this energy on Sunday, and we're going into this next month we're going to see a lot of changes. We're going to see a lot of things happening, and we need to ground down into that love we have for ourselves and the love that we have from the Creator, and know that we're here at this time to create this new earth, and it is about love. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I love you.